Hello everyone, welcome to another great video. On today's topic, I'm going to talk about trading with trends. Um, and in order for us to understand the concept of trading with trends, we need to understand support and resistance. And within this topic, I'll be drawing what support and resistance is, showing you how far you have to zoom in and out to make sure you get the right positions, and obviously draw different levels and make sure I adjust all the charts so they touch different levels. And at the same time, I will also talk about I will draw multiple different ones, so it's just not only one or two examples. So secondly, I'd like to thank everyone that has been following my videos so far, people that have subscribed. Um, my one goal is to keep on making great content for you guys, so you can get value from my channel. Um, so thank you very much for subscribing. A lot of people gave me feedback on this topic, this video right here, and also this video. So thank you very much for subscribing and keeping up with my channel. Thank you. So let's get into the trade. This is AutoZone, um, AutoZone stock right here. And today we're gonna just use this trade from last week. I think it's last week Friday, last trading day of the week. So what I mean by trading with trend is situation like this when the trend changes, and I will explain what I mean in a minute. Situation like this is when you make sure you're on the right side of the trade. You trade with trend. So, but before understanding the concept of trading with trend, you need to understand support and resistance, right? So, support and resistance is the idea of um when the stock price is at the absolute highest and when the stock price is at the absolute lowest. And what do I mean by that? So let me draw a trend line starting from the day. So let's look at this section right here, and we can say, you know what, this is the lowest point. This is the lowest price point at this time. This is the lowest price point that we can obviously tell. So let's say the market is not open and we're not looking at this big candle. We can say, you know what, this is the lowest point and this is the highest point at this time, right? So when the market opened, right? No, actually, first of all, before I get into this, right, the bottom line is usually recognized as support, and the top line is recognized as resistance. Support meaning this is where the lowest price has been and will be. Nobody can push this. Let's say we're looking at this particular candle. No one in the world at this time was able to push this candle any further than this, right? No one. No one in the world was able to place any trade to push this candle further than at, at that time of the world, right? So what that means is we have a price floor. This is the lowest that the price has been. And as you can see, the candle trying to go up again. We got this green candle trying to go up, although it's really small. Candle trying to go up, came back down, hit the same support again. So technically, this is like a tiny little mini double bottom right here, but we can't really count it because as compared to this one right here, which I'm going to get to this section in a bit. So price just hit support and then just bounce back up, and then the market closed. This is earnings. AutoZone reported earnings, and you can see they beat their earnings by 4%. So what happened is the next day, boom, price broke up. But before we get to this price right here, we want to look at resistance. Resistance simply means price cannot go any higher than this, right? No one in the world can bring this price to be higher than this, right? So that's what support and resistance is. Nobody can bring the price higher, so we say this is the resistance. This is the highest the price will be at any given time. And the reason why we want to use support and resistance is so we can know when to get into a trade, right? Because if you're not using, because me, I don't really use the trend lines. I just kind of visually see it, and I can tell what's going to happen next. But if you're pretty new to trading, I mean, this my content is geared towards people that are extremely new to trading, and they just want to start from scratch and use a system that is pretty easy to trade with, right? So you see, right at this point, price is above the 20, and what do we say on this channel? When price is above the 20 and the 200, it tend to keep on going up, right? That's all we all about this with this channel. 20 and the 200 moving average. This is the 200 moving average. This is the 20 moving average, right? So when price is above the 20 moving average, we know right here it's time to buy into the trade. And then price push up, and as you can see, because price could not push this back up, you could sell out of the trade right here, depending on how many contracts you have or how many stocks you're holding, if you're holding stocks, right? Prices cannot break resistance, so that means most likely this is the top right here. So if you're watching this and you were looking at it from this point, you first thing you want to do is you want to drop the top. You want to draw the top, right? Because this is the very top. Prices cannot get any higher than this, right? So you want to draw the top, and then as you wait to see what happened, prices fell, right? Then it formed a bottom right here. The first bottom, right? Because let's say you were watching the stock and you just wait to see what happened. The reason why you would want to draw this line is when you get a change in trend, right? When the candles changes into green, then you know, okay, let me draw a line for support because this is the lowest price at this time. And then guess what happened the next day? AutoZone reported good earnings, and the stock price shoot up. So now, when you see a situation whereby the price breaks resistance, it usually signify that you should probably buy, that the price of the stock will keep on going up from this level. It usually signify that pretty much all the time, right? So let's say this is just a small little brief example. So let's say on the 10th of December you woke up and then you decide to trade this. You decide to trade AutoZone, right? And you see this candle right here went really high. This is a 3 minutes candle, by the way, because I trade with 3-minute candle. When you see the price go up pretty high, then you can say, you know what, this right here, this is the current. Because I don't think there's no way a regular investor would be able to get into this. These are people that can trade overnight, that they were able to push prices this high. So let's say from here we can just be like, okay, you know what, we have a different situation going on. We have a different trend going on here. We have this first candle. This is let me just zoom in here, give me a second. So we have a different situation going on here. We have the first candle right here. This is this candle. This is the very first candle of the day. So we say, okay, this is the new highest price of the day, right? And what do we know from the previous times, right? When price breaks the previous resistance, we know prices are gonna keep on moving higher, right? And the same thing when the prices breaks on when trend. I'll get to that in a bit. So let's say you wake up right on the 10th. You woke up on the 10th. You want to trade AutoZone. They had a good earnings. Boom, the price shoot up. Usually, what I would do is I would draw the first trend line boom, right up there. So if price would come down and not break this, then I would just wait to see what happens, and then maybe on the next, maybe to see what happens, maybe on the next trade, I can catch it on the new bottom. Because two things can happen, right? Price can either go down and then hit this 20 and bounce back up. But in this case, you see the first candle right here, price just kept on going up. So at this point right here, you could get in the trade, and you know, if you get in the trade, let me see. Where's my forecaster? Give me a second here. Okay, right here. So at this point, you could get in the trade here and just get this second candle right here. This is a 2 point. You can see 2.2% on the 2.2% gain right there. So this is why I like to use support and resistance, because it shows it shows where price level are, and it give you a little bit of an idea of when to get into a trade. So, but the way that I like to trade stock is, I don't like to chase stock. I'm like a hunter when I trade, right? I'm like a hunter, watching my prey, and at the right time, I hit the trigger, right? That's how I like to trade. So if I was to look at this and price shoot up like this, boom, I'm not gonna get in here. I'm not gonna get in here because I'm gonna get the big trend. I wanna get a big. I wanna place a $50 trade and be able to take like $150 from the market, right? So usually what I would do is I would wait for an absolute top to form. I usually would wait for an absolute top to form, and then I know, okay, this is the highest price that this thing has been for the day. So what I would do is, let's say if I was watching this when the market opened, I would wait for the top to form, like I said. When I see a candle like this, okay, I'm like, okay, trend is changing, right? But what confirms the trend for me? Using support and resistance line. That's what confirms the trend for me. Give me a second here. Let me readjust this line. Okay, this is what confirms trend for me, right? Because as you can see right here, price could not go any higher than this. Price could not go any higher. So what that tells me, especially when you see a candle like this, what this candle tells me is trend is about to change. And remember, I'm trading on the 3-minute candle, so this is probably a combination of a couple of candles into one. So what I would normally do is, okay, so let's say price could not break um the resistance. Price could not break resistance, so this would signify to me that trend has changed. But what the reason how you would know when to enter would be, like, for example, this is a perfect example right here. You see, when we were looking at this trade at this point, we had the support right here, we had the resistance right here. You see, because price could not break the previous resistance, price fell, right? And price could not even break the previous support, because you only want to place a trade when price breaks support or resistance. So if price breaks resistance, you want to place a call. If price breaks support, you know what, let me change this to a red color so it's easy on the eye as well. Okay, so if current price, let's say we're looking here, in here I'm not placing any trade in here, right? I just want to see what's going on, right? I'm not placing any trading here. And as we can see, price broke support to the downside. So what this signals to me is, first of all, price is price is below the 20 moving average at this point. Price is below the 20 moving average, so that means a strong signal change at this point right here. That's why I use support and resistance. This is a strong signal change. So usually what would happen is, you see when price got here, it trying to go back up, but it couldn't. So at this point, that's when I would go for the kill, because I like to take the huge. I like to place like $30-$40 trades and be able to turn those into $100, right? So that's how I like to trade. And as you can see right here, this will be my first trade of the day, and I'll just keep on riding it all the way down until trend changes right here, especially with this big bullish candle right here. Then at this point, I'll probably all right here, as you can see, trend change right here. So I will get out of the trade here, and yeah, it would have been a really nice trade. So if you got in here and you get out at this point, that's a 1.4% gain. 1.4% gain. And then let's say you couldn't get in here, and let's say you were watching the stock at this point, right? We have another situation here whereby we can profit from it. So first of all, we look at the previous. You always wanna, when you're trading, you're always comparing current price to the previous price, right? As a trader, that's what you're doing. In the back of your mind, you're always comparing. Okay, what's the current price right now compared to the highest price it has been, right? So let's say you're looking at this point, you can say, okay, it has been as high as this one, or not really, or maybe as high as here. But for the sake of simplicity, let me place this right here, right? So you say, okay, you know what? I'm watching the stock at this point. This is the current highest price. I'm waiting for the next lowest price, right? You can now be like, okay, I'm gonna take this, put it right here, because this is a current lowest price, and say I'm gonna watch and see what happens. Because remember, trading is a cat and mouse game. It's like you're hunting, right? You want to get into a trade at the right time. You don't want to be on the wrong side of the trade. That's why I'm talking about trend and support and resistance, right? When you're trading, you want to always be on the clear trend, the clear side of the trend, right? So let's say you're watching this. First of all, you drew your resistance right here. So that means price could not go any higher than this line. And then guess what happened? The next candle formed, the next candle formed, and the price dropped, right? So now this right here, actually, because of the red, let me just change this to a different color. So at this point, right, you see price came up, but it couldn't go any higher, so most likely it's gonna keep going down, and then it came down, then it came back up. I mean, for me right here, as you can see, without even drawing the line, you can see that the price is literally hugging the trend line here, hugging the line here. For me personally, I wouldn't get in at this point, because it's still within the trend line. I like to trade the breakouts, break out of the trend. So I like to get in places like this, or get in at the top, right? So so that's it. So let's say for example, right, you wait and see what happened. Usually in a channel like this, I won't trade this because I like to trade the breakouts, clear breakouts or breakdowns. So let's say you waited and see what price would do. It couldn't go any higher than this, and it just kept on going down. At this point here, when it clearly broke the line and it's still below the 20, because remember, one of my big five rules are when prices are above 200, right, and below 20, you wanna always place a put, or or you wanna just sell the stock depending on the platform you're using. When prices are above the 20 and clear obviously breaks out, like what happened here, you wanna buy calls, right? So I hope you've learned from this video. This is an education video teaching you about trend, clear changes in trend when you trade, and support and resistance. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you like content like this, subscribe to my channel, and I'll be dropping a video a week or 2 videos a week, but definitely a video a week. Please subscribe to my channel. My goal with this channel is to share my journey to my huge goal. I have a crazy goal that within the next 10 years, I want to be earning $1 million a year, either from trading, either from real estate. Right now, I'm starting from scratch. I'm building everything from scratch. So I figured let me jump on YouTube. This is a great opportunity for me to share my journey with anybody that's willing to listen in the world out there. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this video, and have a good one. Bye. Please like and subscribe as well. Like and subscribe. Thank you. It really does help my channel to grow. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Bye.